And on behalf of, oh, there we go. On behalf of DIIT, welcome to another Friday session. We are so excited. We have Michaela back with us from Microsoft. She's going to be leading us in a fabulous PD, so super stoked for that. But again, welcome. My name's Laura Ogando, Program Manager for the Office of Digital Literacy and Inclusion. Here again to support all of you. And it's been such an amazing ride. I know we're getting closer and closer to the end, and I've been doing a lot of reflecting. And honestly, this has been one of my favorite projects all year. This community, the positivity here, the love, just it's all so amazing. And you know, we do a lot of PDs, we plan a lot of stuff. I want to tell you, hands down, this doesn't always happen. This is special. So I just want to say to all of you who've been showing up since the beginning, to folks who just started showing up, and everyone in between, thank you so much. It's been phenomenal. And with that, I'm gonna pass it over to my girl, Christina, who I know has some great stuff to share with you as well.
Thanks so much, Laura. No, I just wanted to echo what you said, Laura. This is definitely a special group. So dynamic. We can feel the energy through the chat, and we absolutely love it. So y'all know me, Christina Basias, EdTech program. We just had our last coffee talk last week, and there were some issues escalated that we did rectify once again. So just want to say, if you do have an issue that is related to technology, or you're not sure, right? You just want some guidance and you support, please reach out, please email me. I'll drop my email in the chat as well. Happy to support, happy to escalate, and we can get some stuff figured out. Unfortunately, we're not having another coffee talk, but we are still here to support. And I just want to echo once again what Laura said, one of my favorite days of the week, not only because it's Friday, but because we get to kick it off with you lovely people every Friday, which I absolutely love. But Friday has always turned Friday into my mind from now on. So I'm gonna kick it back to Laura to get us going.
Thank you. And again, I'm going to shout out my girl Latika. We cannot teach without her. I mean this. She comes to every single class and she makes it happen in the back channel. She does a lot of the stuff behind the scenes, from attendance to making sure folks get CTLE and everything in between. So thank you. She'll be posting some important information throughout today's session. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Derry to welcome you all from FACE.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Digital Professional Development Friday. Oh my God, I'm super excited. My name is Derry, and I am from the Office of Family Community Empowerment. And I am super excited because I am with my family. We are, a company with our parent coordinators at FLCs, school staff, others. I know that we have other titles in here, so super excited because we can't do this work without you. And I'm just here to say welcome, everyone. And I'm going to pass it over really quickly for Diana to welcome everyone. And then I have a few announcements to share. So it looks like Diana might have some technical. So she will say hi, everyone, in the chat. But I know if she was here, she'll say, oh my God, I'm so excited to see everyone.
Okay, I got it.
There you go, Diana.
I was like, I cannot unmute. Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to be here as always. Happy Friday. I always look forward to our professional development series. This is a way to end the holiday weekend, enthusiastic, energized. I'm looking forward to today's information, and I'm glad for everyone that's here, and I want to wish everyone a wonderful holiday weekend. Thank you all.
Thanks, Diana. And I have to also shout out our wonderful Digital Friday team, our colleagues at DIIT, and also our partner, Common Sense Education, Tali. You know what? Laura kicked it off by saying, we are like, this is such a wonderful space, and you guys, oh my gosh, I look forward to our Fridays. But I said it in the beginning, parent coordinators, FLCs, FSCs are the best. I mean, I get to see you guys all the time. So when I tell other colleagues how you guys do a fantastic work and how, you come here every week, all the professional development series, and that shows a lot. That means that you want to be empowered, you want to learn some new skills, you want to level up. And we do this because we want to make sure our families' voices are elevated in our work, and we want to make sure our families are partners, and we want to also ensure that our families know how to advocate for their children's education. So I just want to say thank you because we are almost at the end. With that, Watch Party Wednesday is coming up. So June 9th is Watch Party Wednesday. It's the title is Summer Recharge. So on June 9th, we're going to have our wonderful colleague and our friend, Wendy Lopez from Learning Heroes. And we're also going to have a couple of colleagues from our central office to share a little bit more announcements for Summer Rising. So we're super excited. That's happening on June 9th. Next week, we're sending out the link just so that you guys can remember that to register. But again, that's June 9th. June 23rd. Oh my gosh. Save the date. You do not want to miss the last watch party. And that is the party of the party. So we are going to be spotlighting some parent coordinators, FLCs, FSCs. It's all about you. We want this watch party. We're not going to bring in folks from the outside because we want to know, we want to spotlight your work. And with that, let's do a little quick preview. In the chat, please share one strategy that you learned this year during the pandemic. What is one thing that you did this year to empower your families? Let's take a quick look. Oh, and I love the webpad. So in the chat, one thing, one strategy that you implemented to empower families. I just kind of want to take a quick look here. And you know what? It's okay because next week we're going to send out a Google form that's going to ask a couple of questions to get you guys ready to put a video together and also to share your strategy. But okay, it's coming up. We have Cheryl just mentioned that she offers virtual office hours. Wasn't that amazing? I love that this year we were able to really connect with our families and really meet them where they're at. We also have, we have folks that use Microsoft Translator. Shout out. That's awesome. Attend the Digital Fridays and learn so much to support D20 PCs. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. So you see, it's coming up. I want to see, we're going to do an archive and we want to spotlight everything that we did to this year to really empower ourselves to level up our digital skills, to level up our resources, and to really show that we connected in a time that it was unknown, like we didn't know what was happening. And we went through a pandemic and we are going through a pandemic together, but what's going on? We're surviving and we're recovering together. So thank you so much for everything that you do. And we're gonna continue. This is beyond, like, we're not going to say goodbye. We're just gonna say, we're gonna continue to connect. So with that, I wanna turn it over. I see some more stuff. Keep it coming. I love these reflections. I love these feedback. And I know that I just can't wait for the last watch party of the party. Watch party, June 23rd, save the date. We also are going to have our wonderful new executive director, Sadie, and also some special guests. So you don't want to miss that. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Laura to get us started with our next agenda item. So bye, guys. Happy Friday. And have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. I'm gonna stay around. I'm gonna chat on the chat. I'm gonna learn too, because I'm always ready to level up my skills. So can't wait for Michaela to share some more information on how we can use Microsoft. All right, guys, take care. Happy Friday.
Thank you, Derry. And I see Iraida's comments in the chat. We'll consider it. Some of us are not 12-month employees, but we do some things. So we hear you. We know that PCs are 12 months. We can see what we can put together. It probably is not going to be, we're not going to do an every week thing, but we can certainly be strategic and plan some things. So that'll be part of us as gathering information as we get closer to our last Friday. We are going to be doing some surveys. We know that folks want to continue this structure, particularly into next school year. So part of the survey will also be to gauge interest in, some summer opportunities, because we hear you guys are 12 months and we know you just want to get more learning in. I totally get it. So with that, I'm going to do Tali's slides again. She's pulled in so many directions. She is the New York Education Director for Common Sense. So it is why she oftentimes gets pulled. But nevertheless, going to cover her slides. And I wanted to show but they actually have a new video on Wide Open School under tools for parents and caregivers. It actually shows you how to use Google Translation. So we know that translation is so important. And you know, Michaela again is going to go over some of the translation tools that are available in Microsoft Office. But if you're also wanting to know how to use, you know, the Google Translate app, they have a video here on Wide Open School that will help you. Remember that Wide Open School also has that Google Translation kind of built in. So if your families need this in a different language, remember they can do that as well. Because we know, right? Language is so important. So do know that there are a ton of resources for you on Wide Open School. The Google Translate app stuff is under your school's tools, but again, you can also always use the search function to find. And then just also wanted to remind folks, remember you've got that social and emotional well-being. I know that we're getting towards the end of May, and May has been all about mental health awareness, but keep this going because it's not just for May, right? Like these months are great for awareness. And I always think like it calls attention to some of these really important things, but it doesn't mean that when the month ends, we kind of push it to the side, right? If anything, we want to make sure that we keep this going as we head into June, which we know June is the stressful month. Like it's great because it's like, yeah, you're getting to the end of the year, but at the same time, it's like, oh, everything's like due and it's like all these things happening. We're pulled in so many directions. So do keep it going and know that those social and emotional well-being resources are available to you all year long. But one more time for folks who did not see this announcement in the past, remember the emergency broadband benefit. We can go ahead and pop this link into the chat. But the emergency broadband benefit is providing eligible families with up to $50 per month towards broadband service and a one-time discount of up to $100 to purchase either a laptop, desktop computer, or tablet from participating providers. There are some eligibility requirements, so make sure that families read through that carefully. But generally speaking, if a family receives free or reduced price school lunch, they are entitled. If they've received a federal Pell Grant in this current award year, if they already kind of meet the criteria for participating in a broadband provider's existing low-income program, or if they experience a substantial loss of income since February 29th of 2020. So again, you can review this, just send it out to your families. You know, I always say it doesn't hurt to kind of apply. Worst that can happen is you get denied, right? So send this out to your families, make sure that they are aware, because we know that, you know, internet's so important, right? And yes, we are heading back into schools, and you know, the DOE has made its intent known that school will be fully in person, but there are some remote days built in, right? Remember, election days will be fully remote, as will any potential snow days. So the need for having Wi-Fi at home is still extremely important. So please share this with your families, allow them to see that, you know, that it's there for them should they need it. But with that, let's find out who is in the Zoom room launching the poll now. You should see that on your screen. Let us know who you are. And if you're the other, we're nosy. Just, you got to tell us what the other is. Let us know in the chat. And remember, folks, there's still a couple of moments before we turn it over to Michaela. So if you don't see your colleague in here, we'll nudge. Remember, like, yo, Friday's happening. Where you at?
That's right. That's right. And shout out to Vanessa. Vanessa is our CEC 11 admin assistant for. So Vanessa, make sure you let everyone know from the CEC line that this is the place to be. Thank you, Vanessa, for what you do. Because I was working in the Bronx, but I'm supporting in Brooklyn. So I used to see Vanessa. Do we have any new PCs, FLCs, anyone new to Fridays? We want to welcome you. Put your name in the chat.
Wow, I guess we got only returning guests, Derry.
And that means we have a, you know what? I call it our Fan Friday. Yeah, Fan Fridays.
Oh, wait, we got some new folks.
Wait,
I spoke too soon. Nadienne, I think PC out of District 6 over at M187. So welcome.
welcome.
And I see some other folks. So Georgina, Katie, Vernetta, yep, welcome. We love new folks. We love growing this community. So welcome to our newbies and a special welcome to all of our returning guests. We appreciate that you continue to show us love. You keep coming back, you keep singing our praises, and we're here for it. Just keep going. All right, but I'm going to end that poll. I will share the results with you. We are overwhelmingly PCs, but welcome to everyone here, our family leadership coordinators, our family support coordinators. We got a couple teachers on the line. Welcome to you. We've got a couple school administrators. So welcome to everyone. We love that you are here and that you are learning and growing with us. Now let me launch our next poll because we got to ask you how you're feeling. So let me get that. And remember, even though it's not pictured on here, H, none of the above, and I, all the feelings. All right. Just in case, because I always feel like as we get closer to the end of the year, all the feelings is just, that's the one. It's like I'm everything right now. But we are headed into a 3-day weekend. So I'm seeing the poll as it's happening. It looks like people, I think, are overwhelmingly happy because, 3-day weekend. Come on. The only thing that tops a 3-day weekend is a 4-day weekend.
Absolutely.
Overwhelmingly happy bit, and usually that happens on our Fridays. So that's how it's a good crew.
Super excited.
Totally.
Everyone is super excited. I wonder in the chat, right? Let us know what you're doing this weekend because I see that we are overly happy. I know I'm happy. Can't wait.
I'm with Cheryl. I'm chilling.
My pool opens up. So I'm going to probably check out the pool in my building. So that's going to be super exciting.
Well, that's exciting. My building should get a pool.
Relaxing. Oh, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Movies. I'm going to watch lots of Netflix movies.
I know. I got to catch up on the Friends reunion. I started watching it last night, but this is my problem. I can't be trusted with anything past 9. So if I go to watch a movie, a thing, or whatever, 9 o'clock is like it's dicey. You're not going to make it to the end. And sure enough, that's what happened. I think I watched about half of it. So you already know what's on deck for this weekend. I got to watch the other half.
Oh my God, I got to watch it too. Friends. I love it. It's one of my favorite series. So can't wait to watch the reunion. All right. So
I'm ending that poll and we are overwhelmingly happy as I knew we would be because come on, it's Friday. How can you not be? All right, folks. So just to give you a taste of what we have coming up next week, Michaela's going to be back. In case you didn't get enough of her, all right? She's going to be back to show us more about Microsoft and specifically Stream and some of the capabilities that you have with Stream. She'll also show us those translation features. If you haven't noticed, translation is huge. And you guys already know it because you are family facing, you deal with these families and you know the importance. So that is why we've been inviting Michaela to all of these because those tools are there. And I think it's just about kind of learning like, oh, that's the tool and this is what it has and that's how to use it. So we keep inviting her back and thank goodness she loves us because she's here today as well. And at this point, I'm going to kick it on over to her because it's time to learn. And I'm just so excited. So Michaela, all you girl, can't wait to learn about the translation features Microsoft has.
Yeah. Hey everybody, thank you so much. I don't have my video on, but I will come say a quick hello. Hi everybody. Thank you again for having me and for having me again next week as well. I do love coming to your high energy Friday sessions. They're a lot of fun. So happy to be back. And what we have on our agenda for today is to talk about translating in Microsoft Office. So the last time I was here, we talked all about Microsoft Translator and the web version as well as the mobile version and how you can use that to translate when you are reaching out to families and parents within the L community. Today, we're going to take a look at Microsoft Office. So you might have existing documents in Microsoft Word that you just need to translate, or perhaps you have documents you're going to send to families that you want to make bilingual or even trilingual documents. So that's what I'm going to show you today, as well as presenting in PowerPoint. PowerPoint allows you to use subtitles, which I have found a lot of people just really weren't aware that it did that. So I'm going to show you all that. And you can also translate PowerPoint decks. So if you have a presentation, maybe you're doing an end of the year presentation, or even starting to think already. I know we're not done with this year yet, but I know next year's kind of looming. Everyone's going to be back in the building, so it's going to be kind of different. So even kind of, thinking about welcoming families and students back, you're able to translate PowerPoints, can also translate Excel documents, and as well as emails in Outlook. So if you're working with parents and they email you in different languages, you can translate those to English. So that's all of what I'm going to show you today. And then we're also going to do some hands-on. So I'm going to share a document with everyone, and I'm going to give you all a chance to kind of practice and go through some of the translation yourself as well. So with that, as always, if there are any questions as we're going through, please put those in the chat. We do have a large group as always, which is so awesome, but I will probably come back and answer the questions at the end as we did last time. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and let's jump right into it. I'm gonna turn off my video while I do this. And okay, so I am sharing my screen. I'm gonna start in my PowerPoint deck here. Let me minimize this. And we're gonna go through kind of the first things. And then, like I said, I'm gonna jump out and do some live demos for you all, so you can really see how this works really in action. So as I mentioned, today we're doing Microsoft Office translation tools. This deck will be available for you, so if anyone wants to check it out after, or if anyone wasn't able to join today, they will be able to take a look at it after. General housekeeping, I know Laura already went over this, but please keep microphones muted. Any questions, put in the chat. And then on social media, use the hashtag NYC Schools Dig In if you would like to tweet about or share anything that you learned today. That would be awesome. And this is our little agenda here. So like I said, we're talking about Office. So we're talking about what I think most people think of when they think of Microsoft programs, which is Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Outlook. So we're going to look at the various ways you can translate in there. So one thing that I want to be sure when we're going through and clarifying, and please let me know if you have questions about this. I'm going to be showing some things in Office Online, and then I'm going to be showing some things in the desktop versions. I will be sure to really call out when I'm switching between, but again, they are slightly different. So if you all have any questions about, where I am or what works in what version, please let me know. And then we're also going to do kind of our Q&A. So again, keep any questions that you have, and I'd be happy to answer those when have gone through. Okay, so really our expected outcomes today is to just know how to translate in Microsoft Office, how you can use it as within your family facing roles, how you can find it. That's kind of, I'm sure all of you have used these programs before, probably several times over the years, and you might not even know where it is. So that's kind of something that I find when I do trainings, is people aren't aware, where certain functions are. So how we really know how to find them, and then how to use it to translate different outcomes here. This is, again, the slide. We talked about this in our last session, but we do want to really reiterate that using the translators built into Office provides an automated written and oral translation. So we want to keep that in mind when we are thinking about how we're going to use this with families. So again, there's just some tips in here and some kind of best practices in terms with how you want to use this within New York City DOE, not using it for really private information, also using plain language. There are links on here for the plain language webinar if you want to check that out, as well as accessing the web-based translation tools. Just some, again, best practices, having bilingual staff maybe take a look at it before you would send it out, that type of thing. There are also dictionaries built in to the translator tool, so you can do some checking yourself in terms of context. So I'm going to show you that as well. But as I said, these are, really best practices, things to keep in mind as you are using these programs, and also examples of when to use the programs. So again, we're going to talk about translating. So this could be a great tool for flyers, for messaging parents, in event of an emergency. Again, we're going to look at emails, notifying parents of upcoming meetings, and then, for short meetings or workshops. We are going to go through using the subtitles in PowerPoint. So if you are doing any meetings, whether they are online and virtual or whether they're in person, that subtitles is a great tool to do as well. So again, just kind of take a look at these, make sure that you're really informed of when to use the automated translation tools, because that is so important. Okay, so we've kind of already discussed why we are here, but just to reiterate, you all have such a challenging job in terms of communicating with families. And, I think especially this past year, it's been particularly challenging when we are talking about our English language learning communities and some being virtual or hybrid or in the building. That's all challenging. So we're really, here today so I can show you ways that might make it a little bit easier, ways that you weren't sure how to handle certain things, how Microsoft can kind of help you when you are communicating with parents. All right, so now let's really get into the nitty gritty. How do you actually do this? I've talked it up quite a bit, so now I want to just jump in and show you all exactly how we do it. I have just a really quick little snippet of, oh no, and they changed the permissions on my video. I apologize. I might have to replace that. It's that's a Microsoft Office video. I will look at that and I will replace it before you guys would have access to this deck. I'm sorry, but I can just show you too. So I'm going to hop out of my PowerPoint. Would not be a webinar if everything went perfectly smoothly, right? So I'm going to hop out of my PowerPoint, and now we're just going to actually jump in kind of to the nitty gritty of the work here. So I'm going to start in the online versions. So again, as I mentioned, we are going to toggle between online and the desktop today, just in terms of different ways you can use this in each. So I'm going to start in our online program here, and I'm going to start in Microsoft Word. So just kind of as a review here, when I'm talking about the online versions of these programs, I'm talking about when you log into office.com and you're looking at the versions here of Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. These are going to bring up your online versions, whereas your desktop versions are located and downloaded on your desktop. So I'm going to start in Microsoft Word. I have a Microsoft Word document open right now on geography. It's just kind of a typed out document about geography. And I'm going to show this to do a demo for you. So if I had this document and this was something I needed to send out to families and parents, in my top menu here, I'm going to go under Review. Once you go under Review, this is where you have your translate, and this is built in to Microsoft Word Online. This is also in the desktop version. So in Microsoft Word, this exists in both versions. I'm going to use the online version right now to show you, but we can jump into the desktop as well. Now you have two options when translating a Word document. And if I pull down my little, my drop-down menu here, you can see I can either translate this by selection or translate the entire document. And that's exactly what it sounds like. If I wanted to just translate the different selections within here or partially translate this document, I could use that. I can also use this to make this document bilingual. So maybe I support English speaking families, and then I support Spanish speaking families at my school. I just want one document. I can just make this very quickly a bilingual document and have one document to send out to parents and families and community, or I can translate the entire thing. So if I'm supporting several different languages spoken by the families within my school, I could create different versions. So I'm going to show you both. I'm going to start with our bilingual option. So I'm going to go to translate selection, and that is going to bring up my little sidebar here. And all I'm really going to do, it will auto detect the language it's in. I just want to select the language I want it translated into. This has the same, I know we talked about this the last time I joined you all. There are over 60 languages in here. So, oops. So if I just kind of scroll through, you can really see there's a lot in here. I'm going to do Spanish, which is here. And then all I would do is I would just start going through my document and translating the different sections. So if I want to translate my title, you see it's going to translate it pretty instantly here. And then, as I said, this is only one word. We'll take a closer look at this when I do a section, but it will give you the translation as well as the meaning here. So you can kind of double check that for context. So next, what I want to do to make this bilingual is I would just come back into the body of my document. And if I just kind of enter under it, I can insert that title in. I'm going to give this a capital G since it is a title. Oops. And then I would just continue to do that throughout my document. Now I'm going to do this next section. And you see that translates here. And then this is what I wanted to show you in terms of that dictionary. You see when I highlight or I drag my cursor over certain words here, I get how it was translated, and then I can see it highlighted where I have it in English as well. So again, when I showed that slide kind of best practices, if you do have a member of your school community that does speak the language, it's always good to get a pair of eyes on this. But I also find this really helpful just in making sure that the context is correct. So this is a great way to check as well. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go back into the body of my document, click out of it. I'm going to enter down. I'm going to hit insert. And then I'm going to just keep going here, keep going in my different sections. I have this section, come into my sidebar, hit insert, and so on. And so very easily here, I can make this little one-page document into a bilingual document that I could send out to my families, if I just wanted to have kind of one version of this. So very, very easy to really go through and do that. You just want to make sure that you're going in and inserting it under the English. If you hit insert without unhighlighting it here, it would replace it. Which that's fine if you're looking to just replace that section with a translated version. But if you do want to make it bilingual and, have it be in English and then Spanish, you can do that. And you could also use formatting tools if you wanted to maybe put the Spanish in italics or in a different font or even in another color to really call that out. You'd be able to do that as well. Just how you would in normal Word. If you go back to your home menu, you have your different font options here. But again, really easy. And now I have my geography document is a bilingual document. I can go ahead and send this to both my English and Spanish speaking parents and know that it is translated and covered, and they will both be able to read it and access it. So very, very easy to do that within here. So on kind of the flip side, I want to talk about how you would do the entire document. So I am going to delete all the Spanish sections in here so I do not confuse my computer. And then we're going to translate the whole thing. Now, when you translate the entire document, since we're in Word Online right now, everything you do in Word Online automatically saves and syncs in your OneDrive. So your OneDrive is your cloud storage with your New York City DOE account. You have a terabyte of space in there. So everything I'm doing, you see up here where it says saved, everything's saving and syncing. So when I translate the entire document, what it's actually going to do for me is it's going to save a separate document with that language. So again, if I support many different languages at my school, I could save a version of each and they would all automatically save in my OneDrive. So to do that, I'm going to switch in my little sidebar here over to document. Also, here you can select document directly. And then here, again, it will auto detect. You're going to pick your language from the list within here. Let's switch it up. I'll do a Vietnamese one. And then I'm going to hit translate. And that will translate my entire document and open up a new one for me. There we go. So now I have my document here in Vietnamese. To let it kind of know you do want it to save a separate version, you see how it opens it kind of in this limited format. Like my menu, I don't have my menu anymore. I can see it, but I can't really do a whole lot with it. So what I have to do, I have to hit edit, and that's going to indicate, you see when I linger over that, it will save a copy of the translated document. So once I hit edit, again, it's going to let me know that's going to save a copy. I'm going to press OK. And then it opens in my full Microsoft Word where I could save this. It'll automatically save in my OneDrive, but I could save a copy on my desktop if I wanted to, in order to send this out to parents. If I was emailing this or sharing it, you know, maybe through one of the various school apps that you might use to communicate with parents. So now I have my Vietnamese version. And again, this is all translated within here. And if I did want to save a copy, this, again, it's automatically going to save in my OneDrive. So I'm going to just go back home. I just want to show you what that looks like real quick. So if I go into OneDrive, and if I scroll down my OneDrive, I can very much tell it's the end of the year because I have a lot of stuff in here. But I just wanted to show you, so this is where I don't have to do anything. It's automatically here, that geography document, but in Vietnamese. So if I supported, say I had Vietnamese speaking families as well as Spanish speaking families, maybe I have a couple Russian speaking families, I would just do this for each language and it would save a copy of each within my OneDrive. Now, if I was looking, you know, to send this out to parents, I can also just come in here and do a file save as, and I can download a copy of this to my computer, and then I would be able to send that Word document out to various families. Again, however, if you do it via email or via one of the communication apps that you might use at your school. And then my original, if I go back to my OneDrive, that my original's here. So I'm not losing that. So don't, you know, worry that once you translate it, you're going to lose the original. It's automatically going to save here. So that is our, you know, really first thing within Microsoft Word is just having that ability to go in and to translate either by selection or translate the entire document. So really easy to do, just kind of basic review real quick is go into Word, go under review, and you have translate right here. Now, just to show you, because I mentioned I would, I've been in Word Online this whole time. If I open this in my desktop app, that is going to open up the desktop version of Microsoft Word, which looks like this. I'm sure you're all familiar with that. And if I go also under review, I have my translate option here as well. So within Microsoft Word, you can do it in either the online version or the desktop version. So that's here as well in the online version. Okay, so I am going to move into PowerPoint. And I know I see there's a couple of things that have come up in the chat, so we will go over those kind of at the end. I'll do a little run through of going through all the questions. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go back into the PowerPoint I was sharing with you all. And I want to just show you how you can put subtitles. So I was doing this PowerPoint for my families, whether we're in person and I'm doing it at our school, maybe like I said, you know, next year for a back to school night, or even at the end of this year, if you have anyone able to come in to do any sort of graduation, you could do this as well. And if you're sharing, if you go in, I'm in PowerPoint Online right now. So I'm in the online version of PowerPoint. And if I go under slideshow, I have my always use subtitles option. And if I pull the drop down here, these are going to be my different options for subtitles. So first, I want to choose the language I'm going to be speaking, which is English. And then I'm going to choose the language I want this subtitled in. So with this option, you're only able to choose one language. So you'd only be able to subtitle in one language, which again, if you support multiple languages within your school, you'd only be able to add one on here. But that's really important because you are sharing a PowerPoint, right? You want people to be able to see your presentation. And if you had multiple subtitled languages on your screen, it would kind of make it difficult. So this one is going to work best when you know, I have English speaking families and I have another language speaking families kind of in attendance, and I'm going to set it up this way. So here, again, I have those same 60 plus languages within here. So if I'm going to choose Russian today, if I knew I had a lot of Russian speaking families, I would choose that. And then from my dropdown as well, these bottom options are where I'm choosing to put this on my slideshow. So the overlay, the top and bottom overlay just means it will overlay it on top of your slides, either at the top of your screen or at the bottom of your screen. And then the below or above just puts it kind of in a different little section. For me, when I do PowerPoint decks for trainings, they tend to have a lot of text on them because I'm doing trainings. I'm including a lot of information within my PowerPoints. So I tend to do it either below or above. If your slideshow or deck is more visual, the overlay is great. What I kind of personal preference is I like it above, but again, I would play with it. That's really up to you. So I'm going to do it above, and then to turn it on, I just want to click on that. And then you see how it turns kind of a little bit like subtly darker of a gray. That means subtitles are on. So when it came time to do my presentation, I want to make sure that this is that gray color. I have all my settings. I would start my slideshow from the beginning. It's going to ask me if it can use my microphone. I'm going to say yes. And then my subtitles are going to start as I am talking. Again, I chose the above slide, so it's all right here. There's probably like about a 3-second delay on here. So you want to make sure when you're using this that you're speaking very clearly and that you're kind of aware of that as you're going through. Here, there we go. Okay, it slowed down a little bit, and it is, you are using an online platform, so keep that in mind as well in terms of bandwidth. So I would just start, hello, welcome to our training. We're talking about Microsoft Office translation tools. My name is Michaela, and I can kind of see, certain words that are going to come up, so I can see kind of how far behind it is. And then I would just run through my slideshow here, and it's going to adjust as I am speaking. So you see it just came up Microsoft Office. So you want to be aware of that little bit of delay and make sure you're just enunciating very clearly. Make sure you're in a room with not a lot of background noise because it would pick up other voices in the room. And just make sure you're, they're really close to your computer, or if you have like a portable microphone or headset, that works really well too. I've used that when I do this in person. I use that because then I have more freedom to walk around the room. And then you just go through your PowerPoint and those subtitles would be playing. So that's how you want to really use this. And again, you can change your language here. So if I wanted to change it to something else, I would just change it here depending on my audience. And then I can always kind of go back in. And then it's just utilizing my microphone to show those subtitles. This happened to me yesterday in my training in PowerPoint as well. It just kind of slowed down. So I'm happy I was able to show it to you. I might be slowing down just a bit here. Get out of here. So again, that's just under slideshow. So I would definitely, play with that, do some practicing, make sure you kind of have the hang of it. And then I would just, go in and try it with various groups. Again, it is that automated translation, so keep that in mind, but it does a really great job. And the more you kind of talk to it, the more it gets used to your voice and your inflection. So the truer the translation is going to be, but also, try to think about speaking, in simple terms and kind of slowing down and allowing it to do that translation is really important. Because if you're flying through your slide deck, that's going to have that little bit of delay. So just kind of be aware of it and do some practicing. So that's the first one in PowerPoint that I wanted to show you. And again, this is PowerPoint Online and this is under slideshow. The next one I wanted to show you in PowerPoint is only available in the desktop version. So I have this open in my desktop version here. So this is the version on my computer. I have 2016 PowerPoint open. And in 2016 PowerPoint, I have my bigger menu here. So it looks a little bit different. And then under review, similar to Microsoft Word, I also have that translate here. So if I was looking to share the slide deck with families after, maybe again, it's like a back to school, expectations, kind of what's going to happen, that type of thing. If you have a lot of kids coming back into the building every day, you would just go, when you open your PowerPoint, you're going to go under review and you're going to go to translate. And this is really similar to Word, where it's going to bring up your little sidebar here. The difference in PowerPoint is this allows you to do it by selection. There's not an option to just translate the entire deck at once right now. I'm hoping that's something they add, because I think that would, speed it up a little bit if you are wanting to translate the entire deck. But for right now, you do have to do it by section. So you would just come in here, select your language, and then you just highlight your text. And that's going to put it here. And then you have two options. I can just, if I hit insert, that's just going to do a straight translation, or I can do what I did in Microsoft Word, and I could go back to English and then go under it and insert it, and I could create like a bilingual deck. So that's kind of up to you. But again, in PowerPoint, you do have to choose which, or you have to do it by selection rather than doing it by the entire deck. So again, subtitles, PowerPoint Online, translating the entire presentation is PowerPoint Desktop. So just kind of keep those things in mind. And this will, if you are signed in, this will automatically save in your OneDrive as well. Okay. And then, so we have talked about Microsoft Word, we talked about PowerPoint. I did want to show you in Excel I have my, this is my monthly report that I send based on trainings that I do with different accounts. And you can in Excel, if I go under my review menu, I also have that translation feature here. So if you had an Excel spreadsheet you wanted to send out, you can come into Translate. And again, very similar here. It's going to bring up my little sidebar and I would be able to translate the selections in here as well. So if I was looking to have a slideshow maybe that I created and send out to Dutch parents, I would be able to do so here. And it's really the same in terms of doing it by selection. So I can just kind of click into each different field here, and I can see that translation come up here. And this in Excel, it is only in the desktop version. So I'm in the desktop version of Excel. I would go there and then go under review. It's always going to be under review and go to that translate. Okay, so the last one I wanted to talk about today is just Outlook itself, which you all, might already be aware of this, but you can translate emails. So if you're getting emails from parents that, they're sending you emails in their language, if you go to that actual email, I'm in the online version of Excel or of Outlook rather. So in my online version, I'm seeing this email. I have an email from Stream here. And if I go to these 3 dots, which in Microsoft always mean more options, more actions, anytime you can't find a setting, look for those 3 dots. And if I open that up, I have a translator here as well. So if I go into translator, this will translate that email for me. So I can, if they had sent it to me in another language, I could translate it back into English. I could also look at the email and translate it into other languages. So if someone else like forwarded me an email that I need to send out to parents, I could translate it here and be able to send that directly. We also, when I was here for our last session, we also talked about using the online version of Translator to translate emails, because the way that this kind of works within Outlook is it's an option for emails that you have received. If you are drafting an email, so if you're creating a new email, there isn't an option to translate it within this format. So there are a couple different things you could do. You could always type it in Microsoft Word and use your translator there, and then copy and paste it into your email, right? Or you can, as we showed last time, if you go to translator.microsoft.com, you could use the text option. And you could either you could draft your email and copy and paste it, or you could type it in here, hello parent, thank you for coming today, whatever you're doing, and that's gonna provide your translation here. I know this doesn't matter, but that was bothering me. And then I could copy and paste it and put it into my email. So, within Outlook, like I said, when you have received emails, you can go in and have those translated directly. But if you're drafting them, you would either want to use something like Word or the actual Bing translator within here. Okay, so what I want you guys to do, I know we're at 11 o'clock, but I wanted to give you guys just a couple of minutes to sort of play with this. So I'm going to put in the chat, I have that same geography document here. I made a copy for translation practice, and I'm going to share this in the chat. And I want you guys to just take a couple of minutes to look at it and to do some translating within here. So let me get the link for you. I think it's always important to have some hands-on practice within here. So if you all want to go to that document, and then you would be able to kind of take a look and go through and do some translating. And while you guys do that, I'm going to go through some of the questions that came up in our chat, and then I'll go through and we'll do kind of a Q&A to wrap up today. Okay. And yeah, Catherine had just kind of wrote in the chat that she received an email that was already translated into English. So yeah, it will kind of read those emails and you know, recognize that they might not be in English if you have your settings set to English, and it can do that automatically. So that's also great as well. All right. I'm going to stop sharing just for a couple of minutes so I don't distract you guys with me going through the chat. But I want you guys to, as I said, let's take maybe 5 minutes and just do some practicing. Go into that you should be able to just click on that link I put in the chat and just go into here and go under review and translate and just kind of play around with some of the features within here. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing real quick, like I said, and I'm gonna just kind of run through the chat, and I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Okay, yep, we are. I was quiet right now. I was giving you guys just a couple of minutes to practice. I hope everyone, I saw that some people couldn't access the link. I can share it again. It's just a copy of this geography document. But I know we have had some, just with the links, there's been some permission stuff. So I shared it again. You know, if you guys do want to go in and practice, but you can always just go into Microsoft Word Online. If you have any documents created, like I said, you can go in and practice there. And then, yeah, I went through the chat and it looked like most things were answered, but a couple of things I just wanted to kind of reiterate on. And someone, Rebecca, actually just posted this in the chat. Yes, the tools, they are great, but I think you know, definitely review the translation as I showed. You know, you can use the dictionary that's built in for context, but if you do have access to someone at your school that does speak the language, it's always, you know, a good idea to have a pair of eyes on it, as it is an automated translation. So always, you know, keep that in mind. This translator has tested more accurately than others on the market because it is more conversational. It's not doing kind of a word for word translation. It's, you know, kind of looks at it in a more conversational context way. So it has proven more accurate, but again, it just because it is automated, if you have the ability, if you have someone that does speak the language at your school, I think it's always a good idea to do so, to just have them take a glance at it, but also use that dictionary, highlight the words when you do that translation, and you can really see the context there as well, you know, just in case. So keep that in mind. And I think all the other questions I believe were answered in here. The only one, I saw some really great points just about PowerPoint as well. Someone had mentioned that putting the subtitles above presentation tests better for people to be able to see it. So that's where I prefer it, but that's great information to know. And also I saw Laura posted in there to, you know, if you're going to be using subtitles, to think about that when you're designing your presentation, which is also such a great tip. If you know, if you are doing something that is going to be a bit more text heavy, think about if you are going to be presenting with subtitles on how you're designing each slide. So that's also a great tip as well. I also saw someone asked if they could reach out to me with questions, and absolutely, you guys can always reach out to me. I'm going to put my email in the chat for everybody. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have questions about any of this. I also, you know, I do webinars for all of New York City DOE as a free service. So if you are part of kind of that account, so if you guys want to set up something at your school, I'm happy to facilitate that as well. I am in the office for about another month, and then I'm actually having a baby. So I'm going to be out kind of for the summer, but I will be back in September. So if you want to do one before the end of the year, now is the time. But I will be back in September if you want to do kind of a brand new school year webinar as well. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. It all of a sudden feels real close. Yeah, very exciting times over here. So thank you guys so much. I know I see Laura has put her camera back on. So if there are any other questions that anybody has, please, you know, feel free to put those in the chat. I'm going to hang out, you know, for a while. So if anyone has questions, put those in. And again, feel free to reach out to me with any sort of Microsoft questions you have, and then I will turn it back over to Laura. And thank you for having me, Laura.
Thank you, Michaela. Thank you so much. So I did keep folks on mute. If you noticed, you didn't have the ability to unmute while Michaela was presenting, but I have turned that feature back on. So we will have some Q&A. You're welcome to utilize the chat. In addition, if you want to use your mic to share that way, just pop a digital hand up and one of us will call on you. I'm also, because I want to just be really, really clear about some of this translation stuff. And, you know, best practice is if you're ever in doubt, remember, we do have here at the DOE the translation and interpretation unit, and they actually do support schools in translating official documents. So if you're ever like not sure, can I use AI, or is this a case where, you know, I have to kind of go the official route? You are certainly welcome to check out this resource. I just popped it into the chat. It is on the info hub. But, you know, I implore you to just keep in mind that slide that Michaela shared. AI, or artificial intelligence for translation, is not acceptable for certain cases, things like IEPs, legal documents, any of the like. So if you're just not sure, again, you can always email them. I've actually met with some of the folks from the translation unit, and they're fabulous. They will absolutely help folks at the school level make sure that those documents are translated and disseminated to your school community. So I just wanted to put that resource there. But we have time for Q&A. So again, keep your questions either in the chat, or if you want to share with your voice, raise a digital hand. But thank you again, Michaela. This was fabulous. And I think so eye-opening to show just how much of this translation stuff is really built into what Microsoft has to offer. And I'll also call out, because I know Latiqua put it into the chat, but we have changed where our recordings are going to live. We had to just kind of clean up some of our spreadsheets and whatnot. So we'll drop this link in the chat a few times, because I know the chat moves fast, especially now when everyone's in there. But we do ask that you use our digin.mic/face recordings. That is how you can access the recordings from today, but really any of our sessions that we've done. All the recordings are there. So I just want to make sure everyone sees it, because again, the chat goes so fast. And I see there's a lot of thank yous and congratulations to Michaela, which, you know, we couldn't even believe when she told us she was pregnant. But, you know, I guess that's the problem when you work from home, right? And everyone's like from here up.
Yeah, exactly. I just didn't mention it to everyone for a while, to be honest, because no one can see my whole body. But yeah, it's very exciting. I appreciate all the congratulations. You guys are always such a fun group to work with. And I love that I'm, you know, able to come to these really fun and high energy sessions with you all. So thank you guys so much. Very, very sweet well wishes.
Yeah, I echo that. One of Laura's sentiments. Like, Michaela, we appreciate you. We thank you for this wonderful partnership and collaboration. I know Michaela's like, anything you guys need, anything you need, Derry. So she's always offering, and I'm just so full of gratitude. And I just want to also congratulate you and your expanding your family. This is beautiful, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Like I said, it's all of a sudden so close, so it feels very real that it's going to be happening. So we're all very excited here. So thank you so much, Sherry. And yeah, anything you guys need, let me know. I will be out for the summer, but there is going to be kind of a Microsoft Learning Consultant point of contact. So, you know, if you guys, I will share that once we have it settled. I'll share that with you, Derry, and with Laura and everyone. So if you guys, if there is a need for any translator help or additional sessions over the summer, you'd be able to have someone come in and do that as well.
Awesome. So, you know, what I would love to do is to keep it going, this momentum, if we can have some parent coordinators or any of the participants on the line sort of share a reflection from today and what they're going to walk away with and how they're going to use this information. So let's do some share outs. I'm going to turn it over to you guys now. Feel free to raise your virtual hand or unmute yourself.
Hi, this is Karen from Maxwell.
Hi, Karen.
I never knew that you can translate like that. I always have one of my teachers do my translation in school. So now it's easier for me to do it this way and have to be bothering someone to do it. It's quite, this is really interesting. I really was in tune with it. I like that. So that I can do it for myself.
Thank
There's
you.
a new tool I have learned today.
I love it.
Thank you, Michaela. I really enjoyed it. Really. I came on.
Great. I know. I love. I just put this in the chat, but I love to hear that. I love, you know, being able to share things that you might not know that you already have. I think that's, you know, like I said, I'm sure all of you have used these programs so many times, but knowing that these tools are available is so important. So that's great to hear, Karen. Thanks so much for sharing.
And congratulations, and have a very safe birth.
Oh, thank you so much.
Blessings to you.
Thank you.
So we have Andrea Kelly next.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? I'm definitely going to use the translation feature in my PowerPoint. I think that's a wonderful tool, and probably be using it next week.
Good morning, and I, Haley Gray, I did not realize, like you said, is in Word, Excel, and all the different places you can translate right then and there. So, good class, great.
Thank you, Cheryl. You're up next.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, wonderful. Yeah, so I love it too, especially now that I know it's in Excel. But I wanted to add something else too. I was in a training yesterday on Microsoft Teams live events, and I would love that to come to the PD sessions as well for our PCs. It was great.
Great idea.
Cheryl, thank you for giving us that feedback. I do want to share with you, we consulted with Michaela. Teams Live is very, as you saw, probably it's cool, but it's also complicated. And because it can kind of have that very production type of feel, we weren't sure if folks like you would be interested, because not all PCs are going to need to run a virtual graduation or the type of meeting that would really require or necessitate a live event. But we hear you, and we can certainly do something like that, maybe in the summer, because I see also a lot of folks wanting some summer PD. So we can see what we can spin up. But I agree, I get it. It's like you're all just clamoring for like the stuff. It's like, give me the stuff, give me more. So we love that you're all about that. And we will absolutely, we hear you, and we will take that into consideration as we plan in the future. Because like I said, we want to keep these going absolutely for next school year, but also, like I said, I actually do want to keep some of this in the summer going. So thank you for that feedback. I do see we have a couple more hands.
Yeah, let's get more going. And Cheryl, just got to give you a shout out. Love the background.
Right.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm at school.
Oh, that is so dope. Okay, so who do we have next?
I think next I have Anise. We'll go Anise and then Marina, okay?
Hey, how you guys doing? It's Anna from Hala. I'm in Queens. I really like this because we work during the summer, and sometimes there are some down days. And with like the bridge programs coming up, I like to be able to translate some of the letters, especially to our incoming freshmen. So I hope there's still going to be trainings in the summer as well, since we work. But this is really helpful. But you guys are always really good with this, so thank you.
Thank you, Anas. I just have to make sure to let you guys know that we do have some parent coordinator FLCs opportunity. So stay tuned. We're gonna make some announcements soon, but thank you so much for sharing. Who do we have next?
Hi, it's Marina.
Hi, Marina.
By the way, very great hair day.
Oh my God, thank you. Just got it done.
I use my AI translator all the time. And I just wanted to mention where it's very useful, even if you're not quite sure, if I'm asking for somebody's help with things that maybe require more work than the AI can do or that I can do, if I'm talking in particular in Spanish, it saves that the person who's helping you so much time if they're not starting from scratch. And
that's a good point.
That's an excellent point, Marina. Thanks for bringing that up. Because yeah, exactly. If you do want that kind of second pair of eyes on it to make sure, if you're kind of giving them that like base to start from, it makes it so much easier. So that's an awesome point. Thank you.
And just the thing about Microsoft Teams versus Zoom, I like in Teams that the chat is always there. It's a living document. You don't have to save the comments, and it's always there for you. So if you can even go back at any point and ask a question, and someone will reach out.
That's a good point.
Anyhow, have a great 3-day weekend, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Also a good point. Thank you.
All right, folks. So I just want to point to the chat. Remember, attendance is in there. We've been posting it. Latiqua's been posting it. This session today is Microsoft Translation Tools Friday PD. So if you're looking for the attendance, it is in the chat, and the name is also there for you. But we can keep the questions coming. So if you have more questions, either in the chat or raise your digital hand and let us know. I'm going to lower Andrea and Anis's hand because I feel like you already went, but you can re-raise your hand if you have an additional question.
This is what I actually want to add, that I love the tool because it makes me think about also teacher and parent engagement. How are they having conversations? And I think one of the things that we can walk away with is showing our teachers. Sometimes I remember when I was a parent coordinator in my school, they used to say, Terry, can you help me translate? Or can you speak on my behalf? But now this is a great way for parents and teachers to build that relationship, right? Because relationship is really essential when it comes to true partnership. So this is one of the things I feel like we can walk away with, is just ensuring that our teachers know how to communicate, because language access is so critical, and we should never let languages be a barrier to partnership. So that's one of the things I would love if our call of action after we leave here, just send a quick reminder, and even do some presentations for your the teachers or maybe the teacher lead in the school, and also our PTAs. Oh my God, this is a game changer for our parent leaders. So that's one of the things we could probably turnkey it. So I hear some laughter. Does anybody want to unmute? We have.
I did, yes.
Oh, let's do this.
It's Rosado. Mi
Hola,
amor.
Rosado.
That's exactly what I was going to say, but I've been like typing, making a list over here. Let me tell you, my school's like 68% Spanish speaking. So all of the teachers always need help. And we have a number that they were able to call the number, and they were able to, there was a translator available, but then it would get complicated. So then they would give up, and they would contact the same like 3 people to help. But especially during parent-teacher conferences, that's difficult, right? So this is a game changer. And one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to be sharing the video with the teachers, and just turnkeying this information and working with and doing a PTA presentation on it as well. I've emailed them the information from the previous PD about this, and the information about the app. So this is definitely the parents and the teachers. That was exactly the direction I was going to go. And you guys are just amazing. I mean, I just opened up this list of all the different PDs and videos, and just wow. I mean, I actually don't even have, like, sometimes when we have the Friday PD, I'm doing something else, or I'm in a meeting with the school for attendance, whatever it is. And I'm like, I'm missing our meeting. And then I'm like, okay, I have to remember to go back and watch the video. And then I'm missing 3 videos because I didn't see them. I'm like, oh no, I'm missing. So you have captivated us and inspired us. And it really does make, when we were working from home, am I frozen? When we were working from home in the beginning, it just kind of felt like anchorless and lost. We felt like we were floating out to sea. But the meetings with Omaira and Abigail, and with the FACE team and with DIIT, have truly been the anchors for everyone doing the remote from home. The PCs owe a debt of gratitude. You deserve an award. You've been amazing. And I'm so grateful for your energy and your positivity. It has actually motivated me and just made me feel lighter and more joyful. It's infectious, and you're wonderful people, and I appreciate you so much. You've leveled me up in a lot of ways, not just with the technology, but just, yeah, let's keep it bright and positive. You know, even when people are crunchy, because it can happen, you know, people are going through so much right now, right? All these parents are going through losses of jobs, bereavement, and we're telling them to fill out surveys and, you know, open this account and do that. And they don't even know how to use a computer. And they're like, listen, lady, if you ask me to do one more thing, and I'm like, yeah, but wait, just one last thing too. But because of the vibe that you share, I'm presenting it and giving it with that same love and positivity and hope. And they take that in, they drink that in. And so your positivity has allowed me to turnkey all of that, not just the actual information, but the vibe. So thank you so much. And I hope you do have an amazing weekend. You deserve that extra day. And yeah, please, if you guys can, you know, if you can record and present, or just email us every once in a while, something to inspire. So, you know, I know that this takes a lot of production time, but just, you know, you know what to do. You're innovative. You'll do something fascinating.
Wow, what a
Eva,
great way to end the session, right, Laura? I hear Laura's
absolutely.
voice.
I'm gonna say, just because of you, we will do something in the summer. I mean that. I mean that. So we will make it happen. I see a lot of faces on the screen like, yes, well, I will personally
Lord, have mercy.
do something just for my PCs and my face community here. We will do it for you.
Thank you.
Yes, you heard it right here on a Friday.
You heard it here.
So you're right here.
We'll figure out the logistics.
Thank you.
We'll figure out when. It's like I said, it's not going to be every week. I can tell you that right now, but we will at least give you at least one
that's
thing,
a
if
lot.
not a couple. We'll try.
Right.
But,
No,
you
that's
know,
a lot. but-
I promise you we will do something, because I hear you all loud and clear, and I agree. And I know you all are 12-month employees, and we're going to give you some stuff to do over the summer to help you continue to level up. Because remember, we're not done.
And to get ready for
We're only
September.
leveling up.
Yeah,
To get ready
yeah.
for September, because that's a huge overhaul when we're shifting from summer school to September prep. So yeah.
And guess what?
do it.
We have that in mind. We're actually putting together what is called a summer research toolkit. So it's in the works. It's live. I'm telling you right now, it's in the works. I'm kind of like
Awesome.
little bit. We're putting it together, but it should be ready hopefully soon. But thank you so much for sharing. I mean, I feel my heart is filled with gratitude. Sometimes we don't really get a chance to hear from you guys if these platforms are working. And I know that I'm just so full of gratitude with our partners like DIIT. I mean, Laura, Christina, Letiqua, Lisa. If you guys can just see when we're coming together, and they just come in, and it's really great when they plan the sessions thinking about us in mind and how we can level up our digital skills. So let's give them another shout out in here, especially Michaela, who's on the line right now. And also our wonderful friend Tali, who's not here, she's always like,
congrats.
so with that, I'm looking at the time, it is 11:24. I just can't say enough, guys. We have to make sure that we take care of ourselves.
Yes.
This weekend is a long weekend. We ended the Department of Health mental health workshop, was really talking about the pandemic and the effects of the pandemic, but it's also provided us some great tools and great resources for not only ourselves, but for our families. So make sure, one of the things I got out of it is self-care, self-care, self-care.
Yes.
Something for yourself. Make sure that you know what? Turn off your phone. Turn it off. Turn it off. Like that's gonna be my thing. I feel like I'm addicted to my technology. I'm gonna turn it off for 1 hour and just have some me time. So in the chat, I want you guys to say, I'm committed to myself this weekend.
Of course.
Let's do this. I'm committed to myself this weekend. And then we'll go back. I know we're taking care of loved ones, and we're always thinking about our community. So let me see that in the chat. I'm committed to myself this weekend. Do something fun, get refreshed, get recharged. Because you know what? June is like next week. I can't believe it. And we're closing out the year with excitement. We're closing out the year with feeling empowered and just thinking about our new season when we welcome back parents and students this school on the fall. And also we're re-welcoming our students in the summer and our families, because parent engagement, parent partnership, it doesn't end. It's always a continuum. So we're just going to continue to empower our families and partner up with them. So with that, I'm going to stay quiet. I want to thank you on behalf of FACE, on behalf of the Parent Empowerment Team and everyone. We thank you. We celebrate you. And we just can't wait to celebrate on June 23rd. So I'm turning it back to Laura just to kind of close us out. And we make sure that you check us out next Friday. We're going to continue the conversation with Michaela. And also June 9th is Watch Party Summer Rising, if you missed that announcement. And make sure that you guys fill out the attendance sheet and give us some more feedback. In order for us to continue these platforms citywide and on a virtual platform, we want to make sure that we know, like, your voices are heard and said, we want more. So yeah, just keep letting us know. Email me, drodriguez63. Let's say very, so I can forward it to our senior directors and say, yeah, they want more. All right, guys, I'm turning it over to Laura. Laura, do you have any more comments?
Sure. So again, thank you for a fabulous session. Thank you to Michaela. Thank you to all of you. You guys are the real rock stars. You keep showing up, you keep learning, you keep growing. That's what this is all about. I did just post in the chat just again, I feel like most of you are already in there, but if for some reason you are not, remember, join the PC team, all right? It is a place for you to get more support. We will post all the important information from these sessions there. We'll repost the link where you can access our Friday recordings because we did move that. So we do want to make sure folks know. And then I also want to just highlight, because this came up, we found out that folks couldn't comment. And so we turned that ability on. So it really is a space for you to be able to connect with other PCs. So as you're doing some of this work, as you're hosting sessions, maybe something went really well and you want to share, you want to brag, you want to like put a spotlight on it, go over to the PC, do it. That's what this is about. We want to continue this. We want to show folks, look what I learned and look how I used it. So use that place to share with others, because we want to keep this going, and it shouldn't have to always fall on all of you to create all these things. You know, oftentimes, you know, you are the one person in that building with that title, and I know what that feels like, because I used to be a one-woman show in my building, and I had to connect with librarians from outside. So let's kind of like grow this together. Let's help each other out. If you have a resource that might be helpful in another building, or you think other PCs could, you know, potentially use it, throw it in that team. That's what this is about. We really do want to spread the love. So with that, we will play a little kind of soothing jazz. I hear Derry playing it just to close you on out. But again, have a fabulous weekend. Enjoy your 3 days. Turn that device off after 3. Listen, I know we love it. We are learning and growing, and we just learned how to use all these cool tools. But at 3 p.m., put the tools away. Go have some fun.
That's right. 4 o'clock.
Whatever quitting time is, that's it. Done. Done until Tuesday morning.
Yeah. Good to see you, Miss Sandra. Thank you. Good to be here. Yes, surveys.